Say that led to her death. No one yet knows who could have killed her and destroyed the mother who loved her. We'll have that story coming up. And a little later, a Russian... Dixie Carney grew up in Roanoke, Virginia. Like most other girls, she had a mother who loved her dearly and a life that should have been full of promise. But somewhere it went tragically wrong for Dixie. She got involved with the strange world of punk rock music. She followed her boyfriend from a punk band out to California. And it was there she died, according to our reporter, John Johnston. And while her mother grieves, the mystery remains in this punk rock death.
Watching and listening to the group Fang reaffirmed my fascination with punk rock. I'm fascinated by the allure, why anyone would like it. But Dixie Carney had a passion for punk and its people.
Dixie was warm and loving. She was, I don't know, kind, probably the kindest person I ever met, and generous. She was real generous. Like, if you needed anything, she'd let you have it, or she'd try and help you out.
Dixie's passion for punk led to her love for the boys in the band. One in particular, Sammy McBride, the leader of the band Fang. But life in the fast lane for Dixie Carney turned out to be a short trip that came to a dead end.
It was because he was a big-time punk rock singer in a band, and they had made a lot of albums, and they'd travel worldwide. And I guess to her, that was a big deal thing.
Slammin' Sammy and Fang were a big deal in Dixie's small hometown of Roanoke, Virginia, where spacious sidewalks seemed to have little room for punk rock. But there was a tiny place for punk here, the one small spot where Dixie didn't feel out of place. Dixie Carney first found punk rock right here in her very own hometown of Roanoke, Virginia. The Iroquois Club was a regular hangout of hers. It's where she first came in contact with the band Fang and met Sammy McBride. Being Sammy's girl put Dixie in the center of the scene.
I think, too, being from this small town and, you know, people like, you know, girls or whatever, say, God, she goes up with, you know, the singer for Fang, and, you know, it sounded cool or whatever.
Some of the scenes of Dixie and Sam's love story have been acted out before. The roles were filled by the legendary underground punk rocker Sid Bishop of the Sex Pistols and his Juliet, Nancy Spungen. The movie, Sid and Nancy, depicting their lives, has haunting similarities. Sammy and Sid were both the leaders of the band. Dixie and Nancy loved being their girls, and both girls would end up murdered. Sid killed Nancy, but the final scene in Dixie's death is still a mystery.
Now, this is the type of clothes that she started wearing, these raggedy things.
This is all now that Dixie's mother has left of her little girl. A box of clothes that just don't seem to fit.
This is so different from what she used to be, and I just wonder, my God, you know, what got into her? What did they do to her?
Peggy Carney did find one T-shirt in the box that did seem to fit her daughter. The print read, "Live hard, die young." In April, Dixie left the security of her small hometown and moved here to the Bay Area to be with Sam. She was bored, looking for the excitement of the big city. Just before she left, her mother begged her not to leave, saying she had this terrible feeling that she would never see her daughter again. 5 months to the day after Dixie moved, that terrible feeling became a horrible reality. Dixie was found dead here in her apartment in Oakland. Murdered. She had been strangled and smothered. Sam McBride disappeared for a while. He's never been charged, but police say he is a suspect. McBride has hired an attorney.
I have not been able to talk to him. And so far, he knows I need to talk to him, but he's not willing to come forward.
If McBride were to come forward, would it relieve you of much of the suspicion?
Certainly.
Why?
Well, he could clarify a lot of things. For instance, why he disappeared. And then again, he may have good information as to the responsible.
Sergeant Piniagua says it's been tough trying to crack this case because punk rockers are such a close-knit group.
Nobody wants to be really associated with a police department. It could be because That may be part of the culture or something else that I don't know about.
But many on the punk rock scene are anxious for some answers. Fang's former bass guitar player wants Sam McBride to come forward and fill in the empty spaces.
There's a big empty space missing from the scene. It's discouraged me from being involved in it anymore. It leaves a sick feeling in your stomach, you know.
We'll let you know what happens in that investigation.